3,000 years ago, a prophet told King David his kingdom would last forever, but it doesn't look like that prophecy came true. Or did it? And does it matter? Yes, it really does matter. Let's dive into it. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm writing a series of novels called Age of the Kingdom, set against the backdrop of the reigns of King Saul, King David, and King Solomon in the Bible. But that was 3,000 years ago. Why would those stories be relevant to us in the 21st century? I've done a couple of videos relating to the struggle between Israel and the Palestinians today and how the history recorded in the Bible might relate to today. But the idea of the kingdom is much bigger than even that. The kingdoms of David and Solomon have been called the Golden Age of ancient Israel. The territory ruled by David and Solomon was greater than at any other time. David organized the military so well that during his reign, all the nations round about Israel either became allies or vassal states. So by the time Solomon took the throne, the nation was at peace. Great building projects during the reigns of both kings produced the first temple, expanded the capital of Jerusalem, and built up border cities like Megiddo, Hatzor, and Gezer. International trade prospered under David and Solomon, with the latter's trade extending to Phoenicia, Arabia, Africa, and perhaps even Europe and India. Solomon's kingdom, though small, was very prosperous. The kingdom was so successful that David's dynasty continued, with kings descended from David sitting on the throne for 500 years. But so what? What difference does it make to us today? Especially in the United States, we were done with monarchies 250 years ago. The concept of the kingdom does have significance today because David was promised by a prophet of God that his kingdom would be eternal. In fact, the third novel in my Age of the Kingdom series is titled The Eternal Kingdom. It was the prophet Nathan who said to David, "Your house and your kingdom shall be established forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever." So how was David's kingdom eternal? Obviously, the kingdom of Israel didn't last forever. Jews and Christians see significance and perhaps even the fulfillment of prophecy in the creation of the modern state of Israel, but that's not what I'm talking about. Even after Solomon's death, when the kingdom split into the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah, prophets continued to predict an eternal kingdom with a great leader in the line of David rising up. A great example is Isaiah 9, 6, and 7. "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it, to establish it with judgment and justice from henceforth, even forever." Prophecies like this gave rise to the anticipation of Messiah. Messiah is the English transliteration of the Hebrew word Mashiach, which means the Anointed One. Kings in those days were anointed with olive oil as a symbol of their consecration and endowment with God's Spirit. So Israel's kings were messiahs from that point of view, and prophecies like Isaiah 9 led to the expectation that a king in the line of David would arise. Fast forward 1,000 years, and we find Jesus is often referred to as the son of David. And two of the gospel writers, Matthew and Luke, go to great lengths to establish the genealogy of Jesus going back to David. Luke actually goes back all the way to Adam, but both genealogies establish that Jesus descended from David. But that's not all. Jesus is called the Christ. We often call him Jesus Christ, but that makes it sound like Christ is just his last name. Actually, Christos is the Greek word in the original Greek New Testament from which we get the word Christ, and it is the word in Greek for anointed. In other words, Christ and Messiah are one and the same. When you say Jesus Christ, you are saying Jesus the Anointed One or Jesus the Messiah. Add to that the fact that much of Jesus' teaching was about the kingdom of heaven, and you have another tie-in to the eternal kingdom of David. He would often begin teaching by saying, "The kingdom of heaven is like..." But Jesus' teaching also showed that the kingdom of heaven was fundamentally different from the kingdom David founded. Whereas David's reign was marked by military conquest, territorial expansion, and the establishment of Jerusalem as the political and spiritual center, Jesus redefines the kingdom as eternal and spiritual, focusing on God's rule over the hearts of people rather than the physical territory. The kingdom of heaven is characterized by love, humility, and service, contrasted with the political and military nature of David's earthly kingdom. Being a spiritual kingdom headed by an eternal God means the kingdom can be both universal, embracing all the people of the earth, and eternal. The people of Jesus' day, including his disciples, misunderstood Jesus' intention to establish the kingdom of heaven. They wanted a Messiah who would remove the oppression of the Roman Empire and create a new Davidic golden age. When it became clear that that was not his intent, they condemned him to death. Throughout history, some, from the medieval church to Adolf Hitler, have cast the Jews in the role of Christ killers, but that was wrong. Christ was martyred to redeem the sins of the whole world, including you and me. So Jews may have been the ones on site when Jesus was put to death, but it was my sins and yours that put him on the cross. If we believe that and accept his death as our redemption from sin, we are part of the kingdom of heaven. The book of Revelation in its final chapters outlines that the ultimate eternal kingdom will feature a new Jerusalem built by God himself, and that new Jerusalem will be established in a new earth under new heavens. Revelation 21:5 has God saying, "Behold, I make all things new." This will happen after the earth is cleansed from evil. The previous verse says, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." I hope you've gotten something from this video. If you have, like it and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.